pronounced correctly? I don't want to
That
mess
is
it up.
correct. Yes.
All right, I
Yes,
would
it
hate to get
is.
off to that kind of start. So, if you're on the Twitter space, you see him on there a lot. Purdue fan, great guy, and he wanted to pop on here and help us preview the upcoming matchup on Saturday with Illinois. That is in Mackey Arena. Nice to get back home from the West Coast trip, and we have a tough opponent coming in with Illinois on an 8-game win streak. They did lose Boswell. Kylan Boswell will not be in this game. Whoop. Man, that happens all the time. Kylan Boswell will not be in this game, but still is going to be a high-level game. I just actually was there last night in Champaign again at the Maryland game. Tickets were $8, so why not go if you're in the area? So went there and watched them live and thought that they had a team that is very talented, very similar to Purdue, but definitely beatable. Dalton, what are your first thoughts on this game? Anything that you notice? Obviously, we've probably watched a little more Illinois than some of the other teams.
Yeah, they're literally a terrorist organization from Eastern Europe, and
Duly noted.
I'm not a fan of Underwood's recruiting tactics, but we talked about this preseason. They're a baller team. They've got a lot of size, and Stoyankovic is shooting the lights out right now. Without Boswell, I mean, that's gonna hurt them. I don't know who you match up with Braden off of that team, but he's gonna cook. I feel like tomorrow. That's pretty much initial thoughts. Isaac, what you got?
I feel like just the way that Illinois is played. I mean, I did watch a little bit of the Maryland game, and then I tuned into their matchup against Alabama and UConn earlier this season too. So they can, the way that, like I said too, Brad Underwood. I mean, I agree with you on that statement. Just like don't really like the coaching style that he does with the recruiting, but like, I mean, the way he just coaches too. I mean, it's just it's a good rivalry for Purdue. Like he's against Painter. I mean, it's always been a classic games the last couple of seasons. Whether it's Big Ten championship on the line or just a regular season game. I mean, usually Purdue and Illinois, it's back and forth games. So
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. Illinois, the only game this season we'll probably be able to say this comes in with the slightly higher rated offense in this game. So they are number one now on KenPom, .04 spots or percentage points, whatever decibels, zero point 0.4 decibels ahead of Purdue. Purdue is number two. So I think I heard this on another preview. It appears that these teams are both specifically designed to beat each other. Purdue's whole offensive game plan is set up to be able to attack what Illinois does and vice versa. Illinois is I think they're the number one tallest team in the country.
they do. Yep.
Yeah, number one tallest team in the country. And outside of Stojakovic, every player on their team shoots more threes than twos. That includes both of their bigs, both of their forwards. They have size and they're a good rebounding team, but they are not going to pound it inside and destroy you in that kind of way. It's a pick and pop team. A lot of motion to get guys open from three. Jake Davis, Rickhouse, both of the Avicic brothers, they all kind of do the same thing. And then they have Wagler and Stojakovic up top, who are able to score pretty much at all three levels. Stojakovic, not so much a shooter, but if you look at the last game against Maryland, he went 4 for 7 from three. So obviously capable. Kind of what are your initial thoughts, Isaac? What are your initial thoughts on kind of their personnel? We'll go player by player here in a minute, but just on their overall personnel and kind of how Purdue might defend them throughout this game.
I have some notes that I've taken throughout and just getting ready. Illinois is one of the teams too that when they hit the threes, which kind of as of late teams have kind of found, which is Purdue's weakness in most years of late, is teams can torch Purdue from three. I mean, it's inevitable. We just have a random guy that shoots like 15%, like the UCLA game, averages 15% from three, and it hits like 2 threes against us. I mean, but there's a stat though that Illinois has made 10 plus 3-pointers in 14 of their 19 games this season, which is first in the Big Ten, and they are 12-2 when making 10 plus threes. So if Purdue can somehow manage Illinois to not hit 10 plus threes, I feel pretty confident too. But at the same time, the way that their offensive scheme, they can, I mean, second chance points too. They lead the country and second chance points per game, which is about 16 points a game. So they can push the tempo if they need to. So
Yeah, good offensive rebounding team, top 7 in the country, which the reason that they're not number 1 offensive rebounding and number 1 second chance, a lot of their second chance points are threes.
yeah,
They don't just put it right back up. That's not really the style they play. They'll get a second chance opportunity and it's going to be a 3-pointer to somebody, and they're all capable shooters on this team. There's really not a bad shooter on this team. Stojakovic, you could argue percentage wise, but with the last name Stojakovic, I have a hard time believing that. What is your first thoughts on their personnel, Dalton? Kind of what can Purdue really do to slow down the 3-point shooting? Because if you watch Purdue, what we do is push teams into 3-point shots. Like I said, these teams are both meant to beat each other. That's all Illinois is going to do. They shot, I think, 43s last night. It's just what they do.
Yeah, we play really well against teams like this, so
It's weird.
like somebody I'll consider like Illinois, but more athletic, is Alabama. Like they like to push, get out and run. They like to shoot the three. We saw what happened when they battled Alabama. It wasn't great for them, but I think that we control the tempo. We do every game. And I think that's why we struggled against UCLA so bad, is because they play the exact same tempo. They want to slow things down, run a good set. That's not Illinois, and Underwood doesn't have that like mindset of coaching. He kind of throws together some athletes most years, but this year it's more like the European Alliance, as I hinted at earlier. A lot of these guys have played pro, and we know that the European pros, they're streaky. So one game they might hit 8, 9 threes, and the next game they're not even on the court. Or I mean they are, but you wouldn't know. And I think that, we may get one of those experiences with them never have played in Mackey. You do have really veteran guys like Hummerkaus, who is also a Huntington University ex-player, so right down the road from us. But Davis is a threat. He'll come in and he'll smack you. He kind of reminds me of like a Will Cheddar type player. They're dangerous. I mean, obviously, there's a reason they're ranked so highly, and they're touted as one of the top teams in the country right now.
Yeah, for sure. It's obviously a bounce back spot for Purdue. Had we beaten UCLA, I think that maybe from a national standpoint, this game would be really, really hyped up. But it's even more important now, in my opinion, that we lost that game, to come out and play aggressive and to try to win this game in front of the Mackey crowd. You got lucky on the schedule to have most of these really good teams at home, but you got to take advantage of that. And it starts in a game like this where their point guard is out. Now, from what I saw last night, watching them in person, there's a world where I think that they may be better with Wagler at the true point guard spot, because he is so dynamic at 6'6" and lanky, and the way he moves, he's just kind of unnatural in his movements. But you look at him and you go, that guy should be on an NBA team. It's amazing to me that he is 250th ranked player. This is like a painter kind of guy. Like he was unranked or lowly ranked in the sub 200s. And in year one is just this good, this quickly. It's very impressive. I'm pretty shocked at how good he is. But in this kind of spot with a bounce back, you usually see Purdue put together a pretty good performance. And, I think that this could have been a look ahead game to IU had we not lost to UCLA. But now I think there's going to be a lot more focus on it. Where do you think the team's mindset is, Isaac, in this game? And what do you expect to see from them from it's been an issue all year coming out and getting to hot starts. We kind of did against Jesus Christ. We have to go right back to that shit. I'm in the middle of asking a question, and you're going to just be an asshole. Okay, let's move on. I apologize for that, Isaac. I have a co-host.
You're all good.
The brain of a 9-year-old. Yeah. So what are your thoughts on kind of what you expect to see from Purdue getting off to a hot start, coming out with energy? Obviously, Mackey's going to be bumping.
Yes, definitely Mackey's going to be bumping. I feel like the team chemistry too. I feel like with all the coaches, Brandon Brantley or PJ Thompson, they're gonna have the energy because they know like Purdue hasn't lost back-to-back games since the 2023 season when we lost at Northwestern at Maryland. So
Mm.
yeah, it's been a minute. So I mean, especially with the crowd, this is the 200th matchup also with Purdue and Illinois. So
Nice.
there's a little nugget of information there too. But the team chemistry too, like the way Purdue was up with UCLA with a minute and 8 left, I think it was like 7 points, and then Braden Smith had like two kind of bad turnovers. I feel like he, as the team leader, he's probably after the game too, got the team together and just realized like probably like I don't know how he probably presented it, but he probably took it like it was his own fault, you
Yeah.
know rally the troops, get the team together, and just be like, okay, guys, it's a loss. We're still 17-2. We control our own destiny. We're just, we got to fix up, tune some parts up. It's a team effort. It's not just one player, and use the Mackey crowd too. You know, when we go off and transition, we need the crowd to be into it too, because that's a determining factor. So.
Yeah, for sure. I agree with everything you said there. That this will be one of those games where I feel like Braden had maybe his worst game of the season in his last game.
Mhm.
Whether he was beat up, whether he wasn't, I don't know. Um, but in the end, it comes down to he's completely going to be unacceptable with that performance. He is
Yeah.
not going to accept that as okay. He's going to come out in this game angry. I don't think Wagler can check Braden. This will be fun for Braden, I think, if that's the matchup, whether it's Wagler or Stojakovic, a couple of guys who are not super experienced in this league, especially Wagler. I just think that Wagler can be used and abused on defense if you have a guard like a Braden. Now, not very obviously, maybe 5 teams in the country have a guard that good, but that's one thing I think Purdue can kind of exploit. They're not a super physical team, especially without Boswell. He was the leader of that for them. He was their Mason Gillis. I'm going to go get on the floor. I'm going to hound somebody the whole game. And without him, I really think that changes things. Dalton, what is your kind of overall take on the Boswell injury and how that changes them? And then from what I saw, Wagler is running the point, which looks like to me they're playing a little bit faster. If you look at their season speed with Boswell, it was a little bit slower as their average play length. But from what I saw last night, it appears they're just coming down, and the first guy that has an open three, it's going up.
Yeah, I think that's fantastic because you live by the three, but you also die by the three. What's up, Andy? Good to see you in the chat. Um, I don't know. I I think Cox is gonna put Wagler in hell, just like he does everyone else. I think if we can keep him from switching, which I don't know what the defensive game plan is. Obviously, we've switched a lot of things lately, and it's put us in some games that we shouldn't have been close in, or lost. But I'm really hoping that we get away from that and the high hedge so much and just play straight up. I think it would suit us better against a 3-point shooting team like this. Obviously, they're going to be trying to pull our bigs out um, with the Ivisic brothers. So that could create problems as we were getting knifed to death at UCLA. With talented guards like this, it could happen again pretty easily, especially with a Wagler. Because we're going to be playing them tight on the 3-point arc, I'm sure, and that's when you don't have good closeout guards. You leave the drive lanes wide open, and you have to cover the two bigs outside. And I mean, Hummerkaus is 6'9", so and Mirkovic 6'9" as well. It's gonna be a strange matchup for us. I think whoever's game plan works out better may run away with this one.
Yeah, I actually think to your point, I think CJ will guard Stojakovic personally, just because of the way Stojakovic plays. It's almost all at the rim, trying to get around this guy and get downhill and into the paint. I think Braden can take Wagler. Wagler is not he's going to have a size advantage, but you're not really worried as much about Wagler, like going all the way into the paint, pull ups, sure. And you may even see it'll be interesting because this is really a game for Benter of all games that we play. All they do is have bigger guys who don't play like big guys. Mirkovic is a problem, but against TKR he shouldn't be. TKR should be able to manhandle him. He's kind of a soft flopper style big is Mirkovic, and then I also think that um, when it comes to like the Avicic, that'll be interesting. That's where I almost want TKR on him and Benter on Mirkovic, and then we kind of move down from there. And we have locked on Illini in here. Illini show here who guards Stojakovic, asking genuinely. Yeah, I kind of just said that. Like to me, it's CJ Cox. It's got to be your best perimeter defender that won't let a guy get downhill constantly. Now that being said, I almost feel like Omer Mayer is a good matchup for him because of the bulk and the size and the strength. Because Stojakovic just has this way of weaving through everybody and then putting it up. What are your guys' takes on that? Who do you think kind of the matchups might be? I'll start with you, Isaac.
I agree with you with CJ too. Just the way that he was playing against UCLA and as of late. Um, but I can also see how maybe if CJ has to be on the bench, maybe fouls or just needs a rest. Obviously, like like the size similarities, I would think it's Omer too. Um, just with the way that both of them play, they almost play like simultaneously almost similar styles almost. Way Omer kind of just cuts through and then just like he can pop a three, but he can also take it to the rim and then pass it out and have someone else take a shot, which is the same thing like Zrakovic. So I feel like it's one of those. I agree with you. It's either CJ or it's going to be Omer. So
Dalton, anything on the matchup? So after this, we'll get down to individual players.
Yeah, my go of it would be uh, this would be a CJ Jakari matchup all
Yeah.
night. Put your two best on their best player, and hope for the best out of that. I don't know that I would put Omer on him just the way he cooks, and I don't think Omer's there defensively, which I don't know. We disagree quite frequently on stuff like this, Derek, and I just don't see it for Omer. Like I think he gets cooked, he gets lost, and Stojankovic, he's a smart offensive player and he knows how to find his spots. So I would almost stick CJ Jakari Jack Benner on him and just force a tough game out of him. If he wants to score, then he's gonna have to work for it because those three are gonna make you work for your points.
Yeah, and Stojakovic isn't. He's a guy you'd rather him be shooting threes than taking it to the paint because he's not a great 3-point shooter. He can do it. Obviously, he has games, but if he goes like he did last game, 4 for 7 from three, but you only let him get 4 shots in the paint, that's a success because the guy can go for 30 any given night. You want to make all the guys on their team because they're gonna shoot threes. You can't stop it. You just want to make those threes tough. Late shot clock, hand in the face, and you can't let them get offensive rebounds because that's the killer. One team gets an offensive rebound, put back, okay, it's 2 points. But when a team does it and they get a three after, say they miss a three, get an offensive rebound, miss another one, then get another offensive rebound, then hit one, that's just such a backbreaker because you had 2 chances to stop that possession, and in the end they get 3 points. Um,
Yeah.
all right, cool. Let's jump into players. We'll start with kind of the head of their snake, Keaton Wagler. We've already discussed him. A 200 plus ranked player coming out of high school, got to Illinois, and really from day one has been exceptional. And he just continues to get better. With Boswell out now, he's taken over mostly the primary guard roles. And I mean, I left at the 12-minute mark last night, but from everything I saw, this guy's the real deal. He's a 6'6" skinny guy who can shoot the lights where really if he wants to. Kind of an unorthodox shot, and then he has the ability to go to the rim. He's a good free throw shooter. He's lanky. He just does everything so smoothly, as if he's never bothered. His emotions never change. He's just very stoic for being a young kid out there. Isaac, what are your thoughts on Wagler and kind of, obviously throw in how you think Purdue might be able to stop him, or if we can't stop him, we can say that too.
Yeah, I was looking at the stats too, just realizing too, like he's the second best 3-point shooter on their team.
Yeah.
Jake Davis is just beats him by like 3%. So like obviously he could do it, but the way that the talent that he is too, it's just like, the way that he just plays basketball, it's kind of special. I mean, especially I believe he's the freshman, if I'm not mistaken, on their team. Like he's probably going to win Big Ten Freshman of the Year, the way that he's just putting up numbers. Um, but it's just I feel like there's like Purdue can like that's just hoping for the best. Like Purdue has the abilities to shut down players. They've done it in the past, whether it's IU or just any opponents. But usually when Purdue does double team and shut down like a lead scorer, sometimes and most of the times they let someone open and then they get hot. So as much as I think it would possibly we be able to shut down Wagler, there could be the off chance that we let Savakovic or one of the other icks on their team just go ape shit from three or something. So that's my go-to thoughts of what possibly could happen on Saturday.
Dalton, what are your thoughts on old Waggy?
Wagler reminds me of the kid from Houston, man. Doesn't play like a freshman at all. It's pretty wild actually, but um, I just I he's played at the United Center, so I don't think the environment's gonna toss him. I just think you're gonna have to stay into him, and a kid like that, he's 186.6. Somebody like Jakari could be physical with him, and it might throw him off his game a little bit. That's the only thing I can think of. But if you have somebody like, if God forbid we put Fletcher Lawyer on him, he might put up 35. Like, it's just is what it is. Like, I hate to be that way. I love Fletcher just as much as anybody, but I don't think that's a good matchup, and I'm assuming that's probably what's going to happen tomorrow night.
Yeah, it'll be interesting just to see how we do matchups. I mean, if you look at like his player ratings, like through depending on what site you look at, he is on par with win share, player efficiency ratings as a Braden Smith. I mean, he's that good. He scores, he rebounds, he's a great facilitator for his size. He's extremely under control. I don't know who guards him necessarily because this is the only issue I have with Illinois. Like if say you put CJ on him, I think Braden might be this matchup. Like that's the only thing I can think of. Braden just being smarter as a 4-year player. He's got long arms. He can be disruptive when he wants to. The only problem I have with that is Braden's always sagging off people to try to get steals, and you just can't do that with Wagler. Uh, but then I fall into, well, then who does Fletcher guard? Because you're going to put Fletcher on the foreign, what's his name? Petrovic? I can't. They have too many of them. You're going to put him on Mirkovic. There you go. Like, that's crazy. You're going to put him on Jake Davis? Maybe. I think that's probably where you go, is put him on a Jake Davis, Benham Rickhouse, because even though they're big, strong dudes, they aren't really inside threats. So it'll be really interesting how we kind of sustain him, because the thing is, you can stop him from scoring, but if you turn him into like a great facilitator, you can be in just as much trouble as if he's scoring. So that'll be an interesting matchup. But keep your eye out. I mean, he's a guy that's fun to watch no matter who you root for. He's a great player, exceptional overall skill set. So let's jump to Stojakovic. A lot of people hear his name. Obviously, his dad's Peja. He's not really a shooter like his dad, though. He's obviously a little smaller, but this guy is one of the craftiest players I've ever seen inside of the paint. The way he can use his body and still finish is just genuinely incredible. I'll start with you this time, Dalton. What are your thoughts on Stojakovic and how Purdue probably maybe can go about slowing him down?
Yeah, he's a shifty player, and he likes to get out in transition. He's big. He runs the floor well. He fills the spot he needs to be. He resets. And I don't think his three-point shooting, I was trying to look I think in conference play, his three-point shooting has gone up tremendously, but I'm trying to pull that stat right now. Very similar style of play to his dad. It is crazy to watch as somebody that lived through the Pager days, the Sacto Kings. Dude was a baller, and you didn't want to. I mean, you really didn't want to face him when he was hot. And I think that his son Andrej, is that how you say it?
I think it's
Andraj,
Andre.
Yeah, Andre. I mean, if he's hot, you don't want to see him. But also his dad was streaky, and I believe that he is a streaky player the same. I just don't think there's a whole lot of consistency with this team. Obviously, Underwood meshes teams later in the year every year. They don't really come together and start playing their best ball towards the end. But right now, this team, last game they looked like they were clicking. Obviously, it's Maryland, so you can't really take much from that. But we got to be ready for these guys.
Yeah, Stojakovic, he's 6'7", and that's a lot of what he can why he can do what he can do on the inside is he's tall enough to get bumped and still finish over smaller defenders who are usually guarding him. We mentioned how tall this team is, and it's not as if they are like gonna pound it and dominate inside, but every position has size. They start 6'6", 6'7" on the perimeter, and then they go 6'6", 6'9", 7 feet. Like it's just a big team. And a game where I would love to see more Benter at the three, which I already mentioned. But Stojakovic is a good rebounder. He's not a facilitator. When he gets the ball, it's usually, if it's not early, it's around 10 seconds left on the shot clock, and it's go make something happen, go to the basket. What are your thoughts on him, Isaac? And what can Purdue to slow a guy like this down? CJ gives up 4 inches on a guy like this, and has probably never played against anyone quite like him.
Yeah, I was agreeing with like Dalton too. His average per game so far this season is about 27% from three, but in just conference games so far, it's exponentially better. So like his non-conference, he was just streaky, so cold, but he's picked up the pace. Like I believe he's shooting around maybe 36%. If I have it down correctly in my notes, so it's obviously he's doing better in conference. But at the same time, just like the way that I would like the facilitating of the offense too. The way that he can. I wouldn't really compare him to Braden because Braden's just like god tier. He could just behind the back, just no look, just the way he just passes is incredible. But like at the same time, you can have someone like Stojakovic that can just go in the paint and just shoot twos too. He could if he sees an opening, he can pass it out. But he can also like if the shot's there, he's got to take it, whether it's a two or a three. So
Yeah, his assist numbers aren't great, but he's a smart player. He's a basketball player. I mean, his dad obviously played professionally. He played at Stanford in California before this. He's a California kid. He looks like a California kid, and we had a comment in here. I had to get a little bit of what he was talking about. He said, Peter Pan says CJ is a liability in this matchup. Going to disagree with you. Don't think CJ's, and I agree with what Blake said here. CJ is never a liability. Does he give up size, which is what Peter Pan was getting at? Yes, sure. But that's not everything in basketball, especially at this level of basketball. 6'3", 6'6" isn't that big of a difference, depending on the way that you play at that height. So Wagler doesn't play like a 6'6" wing. Like he plays like a 6'6" point guard. It's different. Stojakovic doesn't play like a 6'7" forward. He plays like a 6'7" guard who tries to slash. So there's differences to it. Now, we're going to be giving up height at every position outside of the center spot. And maybe TKR will be about even, but we're just not, height is not going to be what determines this game. It's, are you giving up wide open threes or are you making them work for their baskets? Believe it or not, this team might be tall, but they don't love to be inside the 3-point line. They all like to be out there, all the way to their bench. The other Avicic brother shoots a lot of threes. Humrikaus, Davis, both, all they do is shoot threes. If you go look at their season totals, it'll be 63s and 22s. I mean, it's actually kind of crazy.
I got the stat for conference play. They shoot 30.9 threes per game, and they shoot 27.6 twos.
Yeah.
So
They shoot.
that's an interesting stat right there, man.
Yeah, shoot more threes than twos, and you got to think that's being the tallest team in the country, and that's with their smallest player, Stojakovic, shooting a ton of twos.
Right.
Like if you took Stojakovic out of that number, it would be drastic. It would be a 40%, probably 60-40 threes to
Yeah,
twos. I mean,
that would mean they're shooting 22s per game if you take Stoyankovic out of it because he shoots almost 8 twos a game. And actually, I found the stat he only shoots 3 threes per game in conference.
yeah. So
So
outside of
that's kinda,
Stojakovic, they're shooting 22s and 27 threes. That's with 2 7-footers and 2 forwards that they play pretty religiously. So I want to hit a couple comments here real quick, and then we'll move on to the next guy. Blake says we don't have a taller guy to put on Wagler anyways, but I think Jakari. Yeah, I think Jakari and Benter could both see some more run in this game just from a matchups defensively, especially if we're having trouble rebounding. That'll be the big thing because even though this team doesn't go inside offensively, they do rebound like hell. It's one of their and Locked On Illinois. Appreciate you being in here. Said Illinois only takes shot at the rim or threes. It's by design. They don't take mid range. 100%. And actually, I don't know if you've seen this on KenPom yet, Dalton. There's a new stat, 2-point distance.
oh, yeah.
And Purdue is like an anomaly in the system because
Right.
they shoot their distance is like 350th, so almost worst in the country from 2, but their percentage is top 25, which makes
Oh,
no
yeah.
sense. They're shooting the longest twos at one of the highest clips in America. So, Purdue's going to want to live in that mid range in this game, and it'll be available all game long with the way that Illinois plays defense. Illinois hates the mid range, and that's what Purdue wants to get you into. Like I said, both teams are meant to beat both teams, so it's going to be a heck of a chess match, and I'll take Painter over Underwood just personally.
All day.
Widmer says they bank on offensive rebounds. Peter Pan says Benter is a better option. I agree. I just love the match. I like him at the 3, honestly. I'd like to see a Clough Jacobson and then TKR Benter, probably CJ and Braden or Jakari and Braden, just from a defensive standpoint, personally. Blake said Benter on Wagler. I don't think that would be it. I think if Benter was going to be in the game, he'd probably be on Stojakovic, just because of Wagler's just I think a little too quick and crafty. I could be wrong, but what do you guys think on that? Do you think that if Benter comes in this game, odds are he's probably going to be at the 4, unfortunately. But if he does happen to come in to guard one of these other guys, who do you think he might guard?
Go ahead, Isaac.
Um, hmm, I would possibly say, um, Rich, maybe, possibly, maybe the
Merkovich.
matchup. Merkovich, yeah, possibly. But at the same time, too, it's like what you guys were alluding to earlier, too, which is like Illinois is just a monster on the glass. Like they get 42.1 rebounds per game, and then their rebound differential is plus 11.
Yeah.
So like they're like if they miss a 3, they're gonna get the rebound and then just second change points too. But going with that too, I think Benter probably would do that. But yeah, I think that's probably the matchup if I was coach. But obviously, Matt Painter knows ball better than I do. But so
That's pretty much what we do here is just guess.
We guess, and then we say Painter.
Think.
Then we say we're going to trust Painter.
Yeah, trust the paint, but we have our own ideas too. I mean, if I'm bringing Jack Bender into the game, he is either on Wagler for me or he is on Stoyankovic. Merkovich just loves to back people all the way down to the basket, and I think you need to have a big body on him. I've watched it so many times. He'll start at the 3-point line, clear out, and then he'll just take you clear to the bucket.
Yep.
Like he'll back you straight down, he'll turn his back to you, and he's just so freaking big, man. For a guy that handles as well as he does and as like well as he shoots, I would hate that matchup for Jack. I really would. I mean, I just think he would get murdered in that.
Yeah, Blake said it. Hard to imagine anyone other than trade. Mostly because, like you said, you're fine if Merck wants to stand out there and shoot threes. Like, you got to put a hand up. You don't want them to be easy ones. But at the same time, you can't let him get inside because then he can rebound. the farther away he is from the basket, the less he's able to rebound. And
Right.
he has games where, like he had that game early this year, he went off for 20 rebounds. Like he's capable when he's engaged.
I didn't know Jake Davis went to Cathedral in Indy, and we got a Tipton boy in
The Rickhouse is from Tipton, Indiana. Yeah.
Yeah, went to Huntington. He played ball there and then Evansville. So
Shout
a
out
couple
Tipton
of
Ford,
Indiana
my grandpa.
boys. And they're gonna be vibing at Purdue. They know what it's about, but I really think Mackey can shake some of these European style. Like I really think that we can get in their head.
Yeah.
It happened to Iowa, and Iowa is a good team, man. I think just Mackey the difference, and I don't want to jump too far ahead, but Fletcher is going off this game. Calling it now.
Listen, he's like the guy who says, no offense, and then he says something offensive. I don't want to jump too far ahead, but let me jump ahead to the
Let me tell you what's
next
going to happen.
segment of the show. Let's jump. We just talked about him, Merkovich. He could be one of the best players in the Big Ten, and he can be a complete no-show. Very, very huge range of outcomes with a guy like this. But he is one thing. He is a great rebounder. He is a good enough three-point shooter. He scores. He can facilitate. He's just one of those European 6'9" players that can kind of do it all. Like Dalton mentioned, he will just back you down. But now on the other end of the floor, although he's a good rebounder, if Trey is engaged, should go at him all night long. It's kind of funny that we have maybe the two most volatile great players in the Big Ten going one-on-one essentially here. Trey can be an All-American, and then Trey can completely no-show for 2 games. Merkovich is the same thing. Now, Trey is a little more experienced, I think a little bit better overall. But at the same time, the game may come down to simply who wins this matchup with Trey and Merkovich. What are your guys' thoughts? I'll start with you, Isaac. What are your thoughts on this guy? And what do you think maybe Purdue does with him?
Yeah, he does lead the team in rebounds with 8.4 a game for Illinois. So like he is their go-to guy, with just getting the rebounds. But at the same time, like he could do like a Trey. He could have a career game, and then the next game or whatever, you just probably just have 5 points, 2 rebounds, stuff like that. You could have like an off game. But that's where it gets a little tricky too, because it's just like you can practice and prepare for him to have the best game possible, and then you can have that game plan, and then I can just go south just like that. So like I would feel like within the first 4 minutes of the game too, that's where I feel like that's kind of the most critical. How does Purdue actually just come out matchup wise, but just like how does Purdue just play? Following the loss, obviously heartbreaking loss to UCLA, like I expect Purdue to just come out like guns blazing. Like fingers crossed, but like
Hopefully.
if Purdue could set the tone, I feel like no matter who's matching up with who, I feel like if Mackey has the energy and the players are clicking, we should be fine. But in games past, Purdue does kind of start slowish, and then as like last year, I remember we went to the West Coast, and our first game back was against Ohio State, and we all know what happened with that one. So
Yeah,
we do, because Derek went without me, and I still haven't forgot about it. So
as you shouldn't.
Well,
I was. Yeah, let's forget about it. Yeah, Merck, he's not a good athlete, really. Like, he's just not vertically an athlete at all, but he is a great offensive rebounder. So, one thing I've noticed with him, and then I'll let you talk about him here, Dalton, is he seems very, I hate to say another TKR reference, but he gets a little dramatic, and he's very shook by physicality that goes unchecked, essentially, by the referees. So that's something that you can do to get to him, which is there's times where I'm like, maybe we put Clough on a guy like him and we move TKR to Ivisic, or is that how you put it? Whatever, you get it.
Yep.
Because Ivisic really does nothing inside, other than offensive rebound and putbacks. Other than that, it's almost all pick and pop threes. And Clough kind of showed in the last game, maybe he isn't the best guy to defend a pick and pop 3. So what are your thoughts on Mirkovic and, how we defend him, but also what he can do. Give the guy some flowers.
Yeah, he's a baller. He shoots about 4 threes, 4 twos a game. Averages close to 11 points a game. So, I mean, the dude can get his buckets wherever he wants. He's big body. It's hard to stop him. This would be the Trey matchup for me. Let's see what Trey can do. Because we're going to get pulled outside, and these bigs, like, it could be a dangerous game for our bigs, honestly. It's like we saw it with Edie when we had Edie, the 2-time National Player of the Year. He would get pulled out on guys like against Wisconsin, and it creates danger for us.
Yeah.
Because if our guards aren't rebounding, then we're cooked. And this team loves offensive rebounds. They know how to get them. They know how to be in position. They know where the threes are coming off. So it's a dangerous place for us to be. Mirkovic is a bad matchup for us just because of how he can shoot. And I personally like Trey in the post a lot more, but we're not going to have that option this game. So he's going to have to play some freaking defense. And I don't think Mirkovic backs Trey down. I think they look to run sets for him to get threes if Trey's guarding him, and they keep the Ivisic brothers in the paint. So.
Yeah. I mean, it goes with the whole thing also too. I mean, not trying to throw the refs under the ahead of the game, that you never want to do that. But like Illinois does rank third in the nation in fewest fouls per game. They only foul about 12 fouls a game. And obviously, if we're talking about size-wise, about how big, in the paint, it's gonna be a physical game. Like there's gonna be some elbows, there might be some stuff. Obviously, depending on who the ref crew is, there could be some ticky-tack fouls that everyone's like, what the hell? But at the same time, and then Illinois also ranks first in the nation in defensive free throw rate too, at 19.1%. So it's like them not fouling that much, but then their defensive, like when other teams go to the line, they usually don't shoot that well at the line. So it's like, does Purdue capitalize? If Illinois does get in some foul trouble, and Purdue goes to the line, Purdue has, this is a game too. Like, if Purdue wants, a category that Purdue should beat Illinois in is at the line. Like, Purdue has to. Like, Purdue can't have a game where they're shooting, 68% from the line. That's just not, Purdue's not going to win if we're shooting shittily from the.
Got to get to the line, too.
Yeah, we have to get to the line.
I'll tell you this though, from what I saw yesterday, I put a tweet out that I wasn't scared of this team, and the reason being, and sorry Illinois fans if you happen to hear this, they just look soft to me. They don't scare me. Like, this looks like a team that you can go and physically punk if you go do it and make the refs call the fouls. Now, that's not a Purdue way. Purdue is also not a team that gets fouled very often or that commits very many fouls. So, in my opinion, though, and not to jump ahead of myself, one of the huge keys to this game is to be the more physical team. This is not a physical team for how big they are, and you can punk them. These guys from overseas don't like getting fouled. They don't like the physical. That's not really the European style like it is over here in college. So that's a big thing to me. Let's jump to
what up, Rickist?
What up? Oh, Rickus is in here. Shit's about to pop off.
Yeah.
Peter Pan said, is this a Clough game? Let's go to Clough's matchup. There's two Ivisic brothers. Tomislav is the one that plays the majority of the minutes. The other one that came over from Arkansas does not play nearly as much. He also had a mask on yesterday, one of those broken nose masks.
That thing, it looked weird, bro.
He looked like an alien a lot of the time.
Spooky, dude.
Yeah, and I agree, Rickus. To be honest, and this is what Dalton said to respond to that. Basically, if Purdue plays well and is making their shots, there's no team that scares me. So, what are your guys' thoughts on Ivisic? To me, he is everything I would hate if I had a big man like this on my college team that I rooted for. Like, get your ass inside, rebound, and block shots. He's kind of crafty in the way he blocks some shots because he's not a super athlete, but. What are your and you might be right, Andy. I'm sorry. I don't know who these guys played for at this point. But what are your guys' thoughts? I'll start with you, Isaac, on what he's going to bring to the table, how we guard a guy like this. We kind of saw in the last game the old pick and pop did not bode too well for Purdue.
Well, I vividly remember their matchup against UConn and Alabama, especially UConn because I mean we all remembered UConn. They still have whatever I forget
Caravan.
what his name. Yeah, Caravan.
Yeah, Caravan.
Caravan. Yeah. He's been there for what 6 years now, or whatever. That man
Yeah,
needs to go
he's
to
34.
he needs to go to LinkedIn.com like now,
Yeah.
like yesterday. But that's besides the point. But their matchup against UConn, these two centers just did not play well. Obviously, UConn's center and bigs are physical, and like Purdue has witnessed that too because we played against UConn about 2 years ago in the national championship game, unfortunately. But the way that they played against UConn, it was not. They just did not play well. Also, adding in the factor that the game's at Mackey too, with the energy, I keep bringing that up too. But like Purdue's bigs, if they play smart and get their shots in, I mean, we've witnessed a few games too where Trey misses a few bunnies and then gets upset, or then we miss like easy layups, like the UCLA game. Like there was many of times where we just lay the ball up and it would get blocked. Like UCLA, like, obviously I'm talking about Illinois, but like UCLA, I think almost leads the country in block shots. Like most of those shots we could have just taken dunks. But like it wasn't just UCLA either. There was games in the past too where Purdue could like easily just dunk the ball and get the basket, but then we just try to lay it up and then we miss easy bunnies. So like that's where if Purdue can like take advantage of getting to the rim and then getting the offensive rebounds too, if it don't hit, I feel like we're in good shape. But like if we don't get second chance points, then yeah, it could be a disastrous game on Saturday. So
One thing I saw last game against Booker, there was a lot of times Braden got switched, and you can do this to Ivisic as well, Tomislav. He's not very quick laterally, so if anything, if you get Braden, for instance, on him, get him chasing from behind to try to run down a block, get another guy to switch. I think there can open up a lot. He's not a great perimeter defender, so I do believe that's one thing that we can kind of exploit from him. And he is not the best defensive big guy in the league. He gets blocks, but most of them are like from behind or from the side on against other players. So I think a big key is going to be getting our guards downhill and being able to facilitate from there. Dalton, what do you think about this feller? And if you want to read this, Rickest.
Yeah, so we went over this. Just overall in the UCLA game, probably the most frustrating thing was just the lack of feeding the post for me. It wasn't the 2 turnovers at the end. It wasn't the last second shot. It was none of that. It was the fact that we missed, 20 3-pointers, and we lost by 2. With how much bigger we were than them, that was by far the most frustrating part of the UCLA game for me. Is like I just don't understand why we weren't at least getting post touches. Like Derek and I went over. We didn't have to score down there. We didn't have to shoot down there. But a post feed kick out is the best shot in basketball. It creates rhythm. It creates rhythm for shooters. It allows shooters to reset, and we were not doing that. Like you don't get a post touch. We saw it with Edie teams. That's when we lost. If we don't go down and get a post touch, we have these big guys for a reason. And when Trey had it, we saw good things happen. Clough had an anomaly game. I don't know that I've seen him play that bad since like exhibition days. But that was the most frustrating thing for me in the UCLA game. The Ivisic brothers, I hate their style of play. I don't like I don't like either of them. I remember the one from Arkansas, like we talked about. Like they're soft. They're soft big men, and honestly, I hate the style of game they play. They should go pro if they want to play like that. Then go pro. Like that's not the game. You want to be a 7-footer and shoot threes, and by all means, please go pro. But I think it could work to our advantage. Like I love a 7-footer shooting threes in college. I mean, they don't shoot that great. Tomislav, the starter, is 33% in conference. I mean, the other one is 36, but I don't know what Painter will do about that. Like, what do you do with 7-footers that can shoot threes?
It kind of reminds me of like I think Michigan Franz Wagner. He kind of torched people from three, and he was a seven. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, he was a 7-footer too, and he would pop threes like candy sometimes, but
yeah, that to me, like I think your game plan is try to contest as good as you can, and you live with it because that means, for instance, if Mirkovic and Ivisic are both standing out there shooting threes, neither one are rebounding. They're not there for dump offs. They're not there for a lot of things. So I think you live with it. You don't give them wide open, obviously, but you contest and you live with it. And I wanted to bring this up for a different reason, but Rickus Morty said it seemed like every time we went to the post, the double came. Now, I brought that up to say Illinois traditionally does not double. That's not something that they really do. They kind of run a matchup zone. They are not a big doubling team. So it'll be interesting if TKR is left undoubled. He could very easily go for 20. He hasn't had a game where he hasn't immediately been doubled every time, maybe the whole season. I think a lot of people are talking about Trey's lack of scoring or fall in his scoring average, but it's tough to score when you're 2-on-1. Like there's only one Edey that's ever existed who can just score over 2 or 3 guys. Trey is not big enough to do that, but when he's 1-on-1, he's unstoppable. So I do believe this could be a big Trey and Clough game, both from importance of rebounding, not to mention from a scoring standpoint. I think they can get there as well. Let's lastly wrap up these players with them. Jake Davis and Ben Humrickhouse, we'll kind of hit them both at once. They play a similar style. They're both obviously a lot more involved now with the absence of Boswell, but both can shoot it from 3. Jake Davis has been excellent from 3. He's a little bit smaller, 6'6". He's very much a Benter style player, just a little bit older. And then Humrickhouse is a little bit bigger, will get in there and rebound a little bit more than Davis, but also really falls in love with the 3. It's kind of his MO. So, Isaac, I'll start with you. Any thoughts on either of these two guys? To me, it's just don't let these two guys completely beat you and one of them go 6 for 8 from 3.
That's where I was alluding to. Also, obviously if we have the right matchups, obviously it's just a guessing game until Mastermind Painter comes with who goes with who, or actually I think it's PJ. PJ's the offensive coach, so he probably already has a game plan of who's going to play who, and then obviously if people have to make lineup changes. But I feel like it's one of these two. Like if a player on Illinois is going to go off, it's either Ben Hummerich or Jake Davis. Obviously, yeah, they're almost the best 3-point shooter on the team, but like if our main goal is to shut down Wagner or Andre, that's how typically teams kind of cook us in years past when we struggle when teams are really good from shooting the 3. We somehow just leave a man open and they just go crazy. The Alabama game almost, because they were shooting like the way Alabama, it almost is in the same correspond of how Illinois plays, because they just live and die by the 3. Like Alabama against us at Tuscaloosa, I believe shot or attempted at least 55 threes. So like they obviously did beat us, but like they were just hitting threes. Like they would just get the ball and then they would just hit it right off the key. So like that's where I feel like if Purdue is able to limit the threes, I feel like Purdue should be in good shape on Saturday. So
yeah, to me, Jake Davis is 2 years ago's Mason Gillis. He's out there to hit open threes, to hustle, to work his ass off, to be a glue guy, not make mistakes. Maybe not as physical as a Gillis, but will do the little things for them that nobody else wants to do, especially some of these international players. And will definitely knock down open shots. He's got a huge ponytail. He really looks like he should be working on cars somewhere, but he's a heck of a basketball player.
Reminded me of Grady Eifert,
Yeah, same kind of style.
Same style like Mason Gillis. So
yeah, I wanted to. Rickest, do we put Cox on Wagler? We already went over this. If you joined the show in time, Rickest, turned on them damn bell notifications already, we wouldn't have this problem. You said you were going to turn on the bell notifications, and here we are. Yeah, I think Cox goes on Stojakovic and Braden on Wagler. If I was the coach, that's what I would do, but we'll see what happens. All right. Do you have anything on those two players, Dalton?
Yeah, 5 and 2. Not worried about him.
All right. Not worried about him.
That's
what he said.
5 and 2 points. Cool, bro.
Yeah, they're
That's
playing
in
a lot.
Conference.
They're playing a lot more now, but yeah, it's just don't let them make 6 threes. Like I think
they're getting 17 minutes apiece, and they're 5 and 2, bro, in conference. Come on.
Yeah. Sometimes you make too much of nothing, but to me, I watched last night. The Davis guy started off the game, bang bang 3-3. You just have to be careful not to let that happen. And if you hold these two guys to like under 5 threes between them, I think that's completely acceptable. Yeah, okay. We can go back and forth on this if you want, Mr. Rickest here with the bro. I always have a bunch of notifications on YouTube, blah, 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 blah. If you cared about us, you'd be here when we started, my guy. If you truly cared, you would be here. I don't accept it. I don't know your schedule yet. That's because we don't know our schedule, Rickest. Yeah, we just do this and whenever we have families, we have lives, we just do this whenever we get a shot here. Okay.
We got kids, man.
Yeah, we got offspring, my guy. Okay? That matters.
Kids, bro.
And I abandon them almost every day for an hour and a half to do this, and yet it's not good enough for you, Rickest.
Facts.
It's not good enough for you. Okay, let's do something we do every game. We do I don't know how much you've watched, but we do one thing we want to see from each player. Blake, tough crowd tonight. Sorry, Blake. We're coming off a loss here. Things get a little funky. What's one thing that you want to – Jesus. All right, Rickus, this is just not true, and I'll take it for what it is.
That is true, Rickus. Thank you.
I don't know why you're getting on me.
This guy knows. This guy knows.
Yeah, no, Blake, you're not seeing James in the chat because my son also doesn't love me and also doesn't turn on bell notifications. This is just a roast session for me, and I'm here for it.
Turn off the chat. Turn off the chat.
Yeah, I'm about to shut down the chat. This chat group is out of control.
Chat's out of control today.
All right, I'll start with you on these, Isaac. We do one thing we want to see from each player on Purdue in this game specifically. It can be a statistic. It can be just an attitude. It could be that, you want to see him play this many minutes or shoot this many shots. So we always start with Braden Smith. What do you want to see from Braden in this game?
I would just say for him to just continue to just be the offensive leader of the team. I want him obviously just do his thing, just continue. Obviously the way that he played against UCLA, I don't want that style, but I want him to the games that he usually before the UCLA game where he's doing 9, 10, 11 assists a game. When he's passing the ball, 9 times out of 10 Purdue's hitting the shot. But also he's capable of hitting shots himself. So it's just if he can just get back to his typical Braden Smith style of play. I know players can have off games and have a fluke here and there. It's the way basketball goes. No one can shoot 80% every single night, and if they did, then they're gonna win the Wooden Award and make billions of dollars in the NBA. But that's never gonna happen. But if he just plays the way that he plays, I think that's all I can ask for him. So
for sure, Dalton.
Yo, let's get the turnovers under control. I'm calling 3 or less.
Okay. I will not be happy in this game unless Braden has double-digit assists, just point blank. This should be a game where guys are going to be open. I don't think it's a game for Braden to go one-on-one. He's going to be oversized by anyone who guards him on their team. But I do think that he can just be a last year Elite 8 game against Houston type of player, or whatever that was, Sweet 16 game against Houston, where he just dices them up from the jump. So that's what I want to see from Braden. Isaac, let's go to Fletcher. Okay. Oh yeah. Blake asked for it, and then there it is. Yeah. Shocker.
I have down for the team stats in conference games. Lawyer is shooting 13 of 44 from three. So the one thing I want him to do, I understand players can have flukes and they can get in the funk. Carson Edwards, one of the greatest 3-point shooters Purdue's ever had. I think the year that we went to the Elite Eight against Virginia had like a 3-4 game stretch where he just did not shoot the ball well. I think that was the stretch where we lost like 3 consecutive games. I think it was like Wisconsin, Michigan State, something like that. That was where he just, for whatever reason, he was in a funk. And, you don't wish that upon anyone on your favorite team to just go through a funk, because basketball is a physical and mental game. But he needs to right the ship and, hit some threes. I mean, I'm not asking him to go 6 of 6 from 3, but 1 of 7, which I believe he did against UCLA, is just not acceptable.
For sure. Let's go over to Dalton. What do you want to see from Fletcher?
Oh, okay. Got your own thing now, huh, Derek?
I have to do
cool.
something. I have to do something.
You're a 7-year-old. Speaking of 7-year-olds, I want to see 7 made threes from Fletcher.
Jeez Louise, bro. All right, hey, let's leave it at that. I don't need any explanation of that. I was gonna say something similar. I want to see 8 3-point attempts. I don't care. I don't care if he makes 0. I just need to see him continue to shoot them. I've gotten past the point of being mad at Fletcher. I said I wouldn't do it this year. Just need the guy to get back in his groove. I don't care how it happens. Oh, Jesus Christ. This is what Rick has
dude, you can't win, bro.
Listen, it wasn't me.
They're out to get you, bro.
Come on now. All right, Isaac, let's go over to TKR.
I would just say, I know he's kind of been, his offensive efficiency and just output has not been to where his, obviously, I wouldn't say standards, but compared to last year, where he obviously he was more of the 5 because we just didn't have Oscar Clough, and obviously Jacobson tore or fractured his fibula, so like TKR was obviously the main guy, but like I would feel very comfortable and very happy if he can get a double-double. Like, I'm not saying that's just the bare minimum, but I feel like Purdue will be in a really good position, even if it's like double-double by halftime, which I think he's done a few times this season, maybe a few times, maybe 2, but like if he can score points and get the rebounds, which is going to be a critical point, Purdue getting the defensive rebounds so Illinois doesn't get second-inch points, I think that's going to be that would be huge. So
for sure. Yeah. Also, if you didn't know, TKR has actually been dismissed from the team, so I don't even know why we're doing this exercise.
Yeah,
because Scott Hughes said
bring him up, dude.
Hey,
that's unreal.
No, you know what's funny? This isn't a Muggsy.
Broken.
Listen, it's not a Muggsy says here, but my dad did call me earlier and go, "Hey, Dave Lewis told me TKR is dismissed from the team." And I said, 1 second. I pulled up Twitter. I searched Scott Hughes, first thing on there, and I said, "It's not real, Dad. Move on." And he goes, I was wondering what the hell happened. I was like,
dude, we can't let that generation have the internet. That's just,
it's because on Facebook, dude, nobody knows who's real and who's not.
Facebook is a garbage can of social media. That's why I do not get on there.
Side note, weather-wise too, Facebook is atrocious, because there was like 3. I'm like getting off topic. There was at least 3 models that I saw some random person post that showed, I believe it was like 54 inches of snow.
Oh yeah.
Like Indianapolis.
Oh yeah.
I was like, I know. I was like, there. I mean, there could be a slim chance that a storm could possibly ever do that if it's just a slow moving, but like 54 inches, that's just like, pack it up. Just
this ain't Buffalo.
Yeah, this ain't Buffalo. This isn't South Bend. This isn't Valpo, Indiana. Like, what the heck? But
Dalton, what do you want to see from TKR?
I don't really care. I want to see 10 rebounds. My I hate to be this way with Trey now, but my expectations are so low right now. With him and Fletcher, I just want them to. It's like the kid with the stick poke him, do something. Like, come on, do something. Like the meme. That's how I feel with these two. It's like, just give me something. And he also released like this weird ass sweatshirt jacket thing today that I really didn't like. So I do want to let Trey know that I don't like that. And if you get a double double this game, I'll buy it actually. I wanted to make that commitment because I don't like it, but I really want to see you play well. So get a double double and I'll buy your dumb little sweatshirt jacket thing.
Yeah, it's
There it
offensive
is.
what you just said right there. What's going to happen is TKR is going to do what he did last game: 10 points, 7 rebounds, 5 assists, no turnovers. I'll take that exact replica of a game. Don't care about anything else. Just be efficient with the ball, make good passes, and rebound. That's all I've got with that. And then Rickus just continues to go on here and say things. Do you guys actually think TKR is hurt? I do not. No, I do not think he's hurt. I think everybody's hurt in college basketball right now. It's 20 games into the season. Like, they're all a little bit hurt.
I'll play
But I don't.
devil's advocate. I think he is. I think his hip's still reeling because your hip flexors don't heal up unless you rest them. And when has he had time to rest? You ever pulled a hip flexor, Derek? You're getting to that age where you're probably going to start soon.
Well,
So,
I try to be as sedentary as possible to make sure things like that don't
yeah,
happen.
if you don't get out of a chair, you don't have a very good chance of that. But yeah, if you pull a hip flexor, a hammy, or anything, that you gotta rest. And I don't think that 2 exhibition games was enough rest for what hip or back or whatever he has. So it probably is still bothering him.
I personally don't think he's hurt. I think it's more just like the mental game too. Like obviously these are student athletes. Obviously people just assume that all they just eat, breathe, and just play basketball. Uh, Obviously it could just be some schooling stuff. Obviously he is a senior, so it I'm not. I mean it's just speculation. Obviously we can make our assumptions and just guess, but it could just possibly just be school too, or maybe or it could just be his hip too hurting. But like there is also the side too where maybe just school's probably not that it should obviously, but like maybe it's just kicking him in the butt because he does get frustrated. I've seen it lately too where like ticky tacky stuff. Like if he misses a basket, he gets a little like I would say pouty. Well, like he's
Yeah, it's
like
pouty.
he no he beats himself up and then like obviously the other team just takes the ball down and he just walks down to the other end. But I don't like to be Mr. Negative. I try to always look for the bright side. But like I have kind of caught on to it that where he gets a little pouty and then just kind of just like struts over to the play defense, which is like come on guy, but it's all love. It's all love. So
Yeah, Trey's back. Let's stop. He's back. If you guys didn't know, if you didn't get the memo, I got the memo. Somebody sent out an email. He's back. So
It
we're
was
just
Scott
gonna-
Hughes.
It was
Dude,
Scott
who sent
Hughes,
that
but I'm
memo.
believing
He's
this one.
freaking full of shit,
Do you think
dude.
our odds go up or down if we played the game outside on Saturday? I'm gonna go up. But I do believe that if we played the game outside, Fletcher's not going. That's just
I
one
love
belief
that
that
question.
I
I
have.
really like that question.
It's a great question.
if the game's outside, I'm taking the under all day.
I
Yeah,
might
oh
take
yeah,
the
give
over.
me-
I think Braden's going for 50 or 60 if it's outside. Just got a feeling. And
Man.
Oscar Clough, he's probably going shirtless. And
Nope. He's from Australia, dude. He doesn't know what cold is. He's never.
he
lived
also
there.
is a lumberjack.
He's probably miserable right now, dude.
No, he's happy as hell, dude.
It's warm in Australia. It's very warm.
He is going to get plenty of time when Jackie Buckets is dropping 20 and 10 in the Natty. I assume he's talking about TKR getting some rest. And then Rickus says, I honestly think TKR is really smart and he gets his own head. I agree. All right, we got to push these forward. TKR took a lot of time there. CJ, let's go CJ Cox. What do you think, Isaac? What do you want from him?
I would just the way that he played against UCLA too. I mean, he obviously, I'm not mistaken. I think he led the team in scoring with 16.
He did.
I would say just keep that up too. I mean, he also has 0 turnovers in conference games. I mean that's not too crazy, but like Obviously, Braden has 30, but obviously Braden is more of the leader of the team. But like, just play cool. I mean, if he can hit a few threes, obviously you don't need to shoot like if he's open, go ahead and shoot it. But like the way that he played against uh, UCLA, if he just can mirror that, I feel like that would be perfect. So
Hey, Rick, it's Morty. Go fuck yourself, okay? And I mean that
Hey, calm
genuinely.
down, man.
But also, Rickus, I love you. Like, it's like a kind of a
Yeah.
weird situation, but if you keep telling me my family's imaginary, I'm just going to walk out the door. I'm leaving. I ain't going to
That's
keep paying for all
hilarious.
this shit. I can tell you that right now, and I apologize for the language
That
for any
is
of you guys listening.
fantastic.
Um,
Imaginary family.
yeah, that's great. Uh,
CJ.
What's going on with CJ Dome?
CJ, I just need you to steal it. To steal.
Two
To
steals.
steal game. Yeah, because that means the defense is flowing, baby. When CJ gets him and Braden are playing those crazy little sneak up moves and they're real sneaky about it. Love it.
Yep. Thought CJ has been playing really well. Continue that, obviously. Just be aggressive offensively. But if I had to pick one certain thing, I'm gonna say shut down whoever it is you're guarding, whether it's Stojakovic or Wagler. Be a absolute pest. Let's go to Dalton. I'll let you go first since he's your boy, Mr. Oscar Clough.
Yeah, I already asked for 10 tray boards, so I'm going to go big and I want 20 collectively out of Clough and TKR. I want a double double from Clough. We haven't had one in a minute. So let's get back on the kangaroo track and let's get a double.
Isaac, what do you want to see from Oscar?
I also wouldn't mind a double double, but if he goes to the line, which obviously happens too, it's just like how physical this game could be with just how the size of Illinois versus us. He has to make his free throws. I mean, a double double would be nice, but like he's shooting 14 of 23 from the line in conference games, which isn't the best. So like if he gets to the line, I obviously free throws can kind of bite you in the butt. They have it passed in Purdue games where we've lost, but like if this game comes down to anything, I've mentioned it earlier too. Probably Rick didn't pay attention because he was probably you know goofing around in chat. But like what I said earlier too, if Purdue can win the free throw advantage and make their shots and do it, I feel like Purdue is going to be in great shape. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Amen.
Give me okay, I'm gonna answer this. I don't know where you're going here. We drink 2% at this household. And that's the only percentage. And I'm sure you've got something to say about that. We'll just let that happen. With Oscar, I just want to see Oscar less than 4 fouls. Don't want to see him get in foul
Nice.
trouble in this game. We need him
Good
available.
call.
That's chocolate milk is hard to control. It's one of my favorite things in the world. Let's go to DJ. What do you want to see from DJ Isaac in this game?
I would just say, like, obviously, I don't want to just keep repeating for the bigs to just get double doubles, but I feel like this is the game. Obviously, with both teams being very efficient on offense, it's going to be like points galore. I feel like a double double also would be nice, but just like making the easy shots. So maybe not. Maybe he's not going to get a double double, but like I don't want to see just easy bunnies being missed. Like I want the ball to go like obviously to get in the basket, but like if you're missing easy bunnies, I'm gonna be upset. So that's all I'm asking. Just make sure. I mean, obviously, I don't. If you can shoot 100% from the field on Saturday, fantastic. But like I'm expecting at least 80% from the field. Anything less, I'll kind of be upset. So.
Dalton?
Yeah. I don't want to see DJ on Saturday because that any more than necessary. I hate to go this direction, but I've fallen off the DJ wagon this year. He just isn't ready for big physical teams, big physical games. He looked really good in like our earlier games, mostly because of the competition level and the fact that there weren't other huge bigs down there. So if he's getting Clough a blow, just come in and do your job. Uh, Stay straight up, don't foul. But honestly, the less DJ I see on Saturday, probably the happier I will be.
It's fair. Rick said, "Don't deflect, just chilling." Dalton's just chilling because I said I was going to John Wick your ass. Um, first off, I went through this at once before, but Dalton is never just chilling. He's always got a plot to make my life a living hell, and I love him for that. That's why he's my pal. All right, let's go to the greatest player in the history of Purdue, and that is click clack step back Jack. And that's what he does. He lights people up. And in this game, I'm going to go first. I just want to see Jack shoot at least 2 3-point attempts. That's what I want every game. And other than that, as long as he plays, I'll be happy. Go Dalton.
Yeah, Jack, good defense because he's going to come in and play some tough matchups. So nothing really, obviously, offensively, I want to see him do well, but he'll be way more important defensively this game. So come in, play good, stout defense, maybe take a couple charges like normal.
Dalton, did you see this question from Rick? He said, Dalton, would you
Rather
rather see more Jack at the 4, move TKO to the 5 when Clough is off the floor?
Um,
Basically, small ball.
Against big teams like this, yeah, obviously. I mean, that would be fantastic. It would we would be a lot faster than Illinois if we ran that lineup, and it could create like some major um, matchup problems for Illinois. I just don't think we're ever going to see that. I don't think we're going to see a small ball lineup as much as I think against a team like UCLA when they were trying to run on us all day, it would have helped tremendously. But paint is who paint is, and paint do what paint do, and I gotta trust that as much as sometimes I think I have better ideas. He gets paid millions to coach while I run a podcast from my living room. So we'll leave the flowers for paint and give him his flowers.
What do you want to see from Jack, Isaac?
I would also just say, just at least temp. I mean, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take, but at the same time, like there was, I believe, before conference play started, there was a stretch where he shot 15 consecutive threes, maybe 14, something like that. Um, so like obviously, if he can get in that rhythm, I mean, like if he can hit some threes, I think that would be crucial. Like if I can imagine, I can close my eyes right now, and I can feel Jack Benner hits a three in transition or something, and Purdue goes up by 9, and
Hell yeah.
good old Brad Underwood gets all pissed off and has to call a timeout, and Mackey explodes. Like I can
Put it in
close
the
my eyes right
candles.
now. I can close my eyes and then imagine Jack banging Bent or just hits a three, and then paint crew and the crowd goes wild. So
Sorry, did you say you could close your eyes and bang Benter?
I said I can. Let me rewind.
Hey, it's on tape.
It's live,
crap.
bro. It's live. It's live. Cancel out.
It's gonna be It's gonna be clipped.
No one's clipping that. Don't you fucking clip that.
If anybody does, it'll be Rickus Morty. He also thinks we should be running actions for Benter like we do Fletcher. He wants action with Benter. There's a lot of guys hitting on Benter in this episode, and we're going to move on from Benter because it turns out Isaac and Rickus both have something going on here. Let's run to Jakari. We'll just lump Jakari and Omer
I'm gonna
together.
get flamed on Saturday. Gosh.
Let's lump together Jakari and Omer here just to finalize this part of it, and then we'll get going and we'll wrap round third here and get this over with. We've been going here for an hour and 20 minutes already, but this is an important game. Omer and Jakari, what do you want to see from them, Dalton? And what are you looking for?
Omer's got to make passes. Got to make his threes. If he takes a three, it's got to be a make. Obviously, you want to see that from everybody, so that's not really a great one. I would just say when Omer's in the game, make good passes. Like, I know he's got wicked passes in him, and Jakari, I will say just the same thing as Benter. His defense is going to be pertinent to us winning this game. So when they come in off the bench, not too worried about their offense. Just come out and play stifling defense on those big guards.
Yep. Isaac?
I would say for Jakari, just like keep up the presence too, because I remember the Iowa game when Purdue was down, I think 9. There was a sequence where maybe I think Braden did some of it too, but like there was a few key moments where Jakari got like a deflection and then scored or passed it to Braden or someone else and scored. So like the physical, like can he clamp down any of the Middle Eastern half the team from the Middle East from Illinois, if he can clamp down whoever he's matched up on, if he can do his stingy defense, I feel that would be nice. And then same thing with Owen. Like obviously, if he can just hit a few threes. I mean, not asking too much. Let's just obviously you get down to like Purdue's depth. I think is what will also be huge for Purdue. Because we can have decent lineups. Also, at the same time, there was a few questionable lineups that Painter had during the UCLA that made me scratch my head. But like at the end of the day, I trust Paint always. So obviously, I mean, I'm not expecting too much, but I could also close my eyes and imagine an Omer 3, Brad Underwood flips his shit and has to call a timeout, and Mackey explodes. I can also imagine that. So.
For sure. Yeah. Okay. Just a couple quick things. Rickett says he thinks Omer's looked better last 3 games. I agree. Omer's fine. I just want him to make his first shot. That's what I've said every game. He's done it every game. I've said it. I think when he makes his first shot, it just changes his entire way he approaches the game. Rickett said, "How high is your screen door? You keep looking up at something." And then he said, "Is it God?" It is God. And by that, I mean Greg Gard. I'm watching the Wisconsin-Penn State game in the background here, and Wisconsin is 30-piecing them. But no, I'm actually on a really small computer. It's a Surface. And if I was to look at the part that makes it look like I'm looking at you, I feel really weird because there's a bright white light there. And I think I'm going to go inside of it or something. Anyway, you're just going to have to deal with it. That's just what I'm going to do. There's a TV right above my computer. And if you don't like the viewing experience, I will do my best to fix it. But I really hope I don't have to, because I think you should probably just get over it, Rickest. It's just my opinion, and I'm sorry if I've been hostile in this, but you started it, and we are in 4th grade.
Subscribe. Just lost one.
We lost a subscriber, but he'll be back. He always comes back. All right, what are your keys to the game, Dalton?
Keys. Limit turnovers. Don't give up offensive rebounds. And Braden over 10 assists.
Okay. Isaac?
I would say free throws are going to be crucial, obviously, just with the size. Understanding Illinois doesn't foul, but I do feel like this might be a kind of a outlier per se for Illinois, just with the physicality for the bigs, obviously with TKR and Clough. Can Purdue make their free throws? I mean, and then obviously on the flip side, can Illinois miss their free throws so we can all get free chicken? That would be awesome. That would be awesome.
Yeah.
And then I would say a second key too is just play smart ball. I mean, don't turn the ball over too, but just if the shot's there, just take it. I mean, I think it as much as it's cool to give a cool assist behind the back. I mean, Purdue does kind of bite itself in the shoots itself in the foot sometimes where we pass the ball and do some cute shit and we don't score or we turn the ball over. We get too funky. Yeah. As much as it would be cool to pass the ball up and then have Clough or Jacobson dunk the ball. It's cool, but sometimes it doesn't lead to points. And then the other team, which Illinois is great at, is transition points too, and they can one of the Sukaliko Blaka, whatever you want to say their last names, could pop a 3 and make everyone pissed off. So I feel like those are the keys too. So
For sure. Rick has said it's hardly arguing. It's more like banter. Banter.
Banter.
I appreciate that. And I do appreciate the banter, Rick. So we're just messing around here.
Give us your 6, dude.
All right.
Jesus.
Settle down. Okay. Offensively, Purdue's keys to the game, crash the boards hard. This team rebounds extremely well. We've got to be better than them on the glass. Two of the best rebounding teams in the country, especially offensive rebounding. You got to be the better team, and it's going to be hard because you're going up against a really good one. One is the exact opposite or counterpart to what Dalton said. I think forcing turnovers will be huge in this game. They don't turn the ball over much at all. Now, Boswell is out, so they've lost one ball handler. I think our pressure defensively has to be top notch for us to have a chance in this game to separate ourselves. I think we can hang in there for a while, but Illinois has a lot of interior size, but they don't use it the same way Purdue does. So use ours as if it is interior size. Let's go to the basket, attack the basket. Whether that's TKR or Clough or even our guards, I'd love to see Braden go to the basket, let a guy come over, and then just dump it off over and over to our bigs because they don't
Slice and dice, baby.
slice and dice them. It happens to us all the time. Let's do it to somebody else, and then just keep that pressure heavy on Wagler. He is a freshman still. He is a very good basketball player, but if you don't pressure him and you let him just stand over top of everybody and kind of control the offense, it's going to get ugly quickly. If we're switching ball screens, which I'm sure we will, do it with a little bit of thought. We don't need to be switching our bigs onto their guards and our guards onto their bigs like we did last game multiple times. I want to see us play drop against a team that shoots and loves to shoot threes. Let them shoot them from 4 or 5 feet behind the 3-point line. I don't think it has to be a deep drop, but I don't see any reason to get pushed way out. So last thing is just to get them into late shot clock situations on the defensive end. I know. I'm sorry. Some people do have families to get to. Keys to the game.
Real
Dalton,
ones.
Yeah. Dalton, what's the one thing that if Illinois does this, they will win this game?
If they shoot their normal 3-point clip, they have a very good shot of winning this game.
Yeah. It's probably that simple. Isaac, what's one thing that if Illinois does, they will win this game?
I don't want to jump off what Dalton said too, because I said it earlier too. When Illinois hits at least 10 threes, they are 12-2 in those games. So obviously, if Purdue can somehow manage Illinois to only shoot 9 threes, I feel like we're okay. If that number gets over 10, might get a little tricky, but I would say if Illinois just destroys us on the glass, if we don't rebound the ball and they rebound the ball, which they have a rebound differential of plus 11, if it's like plus 15, it's gonna get ugly. So it will come down to that. So
yeah, I think
Amen,
it's.
dude.
Do I?
I said amen, dude.
Yeah, I'm gonna say something a little off from normal, but and also very simple. I think if 0 people foul out on Illinois, they can win this game. That's simple. We have to attack them and get them in foul trouble. They are not very deep with a Boswell out. They play really 6-man rotation without him. They do have a guy we didn't talk about, another foreign kid. He's number 77. I'm blanking on what his name is at this exact moment, but he's really their only depth piece outside of the other Avicic brothers.
Oh, Milo.
Yeah, Milo.
He's playing 3 minutes per game.
Yeah, he played a little more last night, I believe.
They hate each other. Him and Underwood hate each other. So,
yeah. But if we can get into that part of their bench, if we can get the other Avicic brother in, some of their other backup forwards, we'll have a lot better chance. All right, Dalton, what's the one thing if Purdue does this, Purdue will win the game?
If Purdue limits their offensive rebounds under 5, we win the game.
Okay. Isaac?
I would just say if Purdue just plays how they do at home. I mean, as much as it's don't want to just say Mackey is special because it is and one of the best venues in college basketball. I do feel like the advantage, kind of, home court advantage, it does tilt in Purdue's favor. I mean, coming off a loss too, I don't really do feel bad for Illinois in this matchup. It sucks that they have to face a possibly very pissed off Purdue team. Same thing with what happened with Minnesota. We got boat raced out of Mackey, and we belt to ass Minnesota, who's not great, but they're I think 4-3 in conference, so they're doing okay. But this is just if the energy of the crowd too. If Mackey can get into it, I feel like that's going to be huge for us. So
yeah, for sure. Rickus, I will address this before we get off here. He asked about a Cubs question.
I already addressed it.
Did you?
In the chat.
Yeah, well, and his response basically was, well, I'm not watching any of your baseball shows when baseball season's here because you have no idea what you're talking about. Yeah, if Purdue, I'll make this very simple. If Purdue makes more threes than Illinois, they'll win this game. And
All right.
I'm sorry, but Purdue's a better percentage-wise three-point shooting team. So if we want to get into a three-point shooting contest, if they're going to shoot 40, let's shoot 40. Let's see who can win because I got Purdue all day long. Rickus, before we make predictions, I will address my thought on that. It wasn't me; it was Dalton. If we're being honest here, I think
still
Cubs,
got it, baby.
I still got it. I think the Cubs do pick up one more guy. I think it's a pitcher. I don't know exactly who yet. There's a couple floating around, but I think they get another depth pitcher, probably a closer, and that will be it. And then at that point, I believe that the Cubs will win the NL Central very easily.
I'll have to object and say the Pirates are, but that we can push that towards a.
All right,
a
how do we close his screen? No, it'll be NL Central's always a tough. It's kind of like the one the Bears are in. I pick teams that are in good conferences. Same with the Big Ten and Purdue.
Like the Big Ten, baby.
Yeah.
Oh, it's basically it's going to be 31 MLB teams just throwing rocks at the Dodgers. I will cheer for every team going against them. I don't care.
Yeah, I would like Gallen. And yes, the Dodgers are despicable humans. They took a bad player off the Cubs and paid him $60 million a year. So good on them. Good on them. Hope that they are happy. And I wish I wish the Cubs would do the same thing. Just buy everybody. They have the money to do it.
Yeah,
Marcus Morty is coming at you, my guy. He said the Pirates.
I hope
4 laughing faces.
I hope San Andrea Fault just swallows the Dodgers. That's. I'll put it out
and
there.
I have family out there, but I'll accept that, I guess.
I just said the stadium. If their stadium's gone, then they can't play baseball.
That's fair. Pirates can't score runs. Couldn't agree more. We'll move on. All right, let's go to this is an hour and 32 minutes in, so let's end this. This is ridiculous.
Marathon.
I have to go see the family I just paid to come over here because I got to take a picture and send it to Rickus so he believes me that I have a family, and then I'll send them on their merry way. Put it in the Discord. All right, predictions. Dalton, who's going to win this game? What's the score going to be? Who's the MVP?
It's Purdue. It's 82-77. And the MVP is Mr. Braden Smith.
Love that.
First time I haven't chose Clough in 4 games. But he really let me down against UCLA, so.
Okay. Isaac?
I like to be a little stats guy. Like I said, I had my notes ready for the game. I'm going to give 5 quick little stats, and then I'll give it to you. Matt Painter's 22-10 all-timer against Illinois. Brad Underwood is 3-7. When these two play at Mackey, Purdue is 36-12 against Illinois. When Illinois and Purdue are both ranked, Purdue is 11-4 in those matchups. And then on the downside, Illinois leads the conference since 2019-20 season with 38 road wins, which is most in the Big Ten since then. I don't care about that. Give me Purdue by at least 15. I feel like Purdue's just going to come out just guns a-blazing. Illinois is just, they were 4-0 and true away games this season, but those 4 away games were against Ohio State, Northwestern, Rutgers, and I forget who else. They played the bottom of the barrel.
Doo-doo.
They're going to come into Mackey, and they're going to piss themselves. Brad Underwood might get a technical, and I'm all here for it. I think Purdue's going to win 88-67. I feel like Purdue's just going to come out just guns blazing.
He's got balls. This guy's got
huge
balls.
I'm also bringing oranges to the game, and I'm squeezing them and making orange juice.
Are you still in the paint crew?
I can get sneak. We're cut the tapes. We'll cut the tapes. But okay. There's some loopholes, but no, just crush the orange tears, make it into orange juice, and just sip the tears away of the orange crush.
Who's your MVP?
Oh, MVP, I would say I'll take TKR.
All right.
He's probably going to go 25 and 13. 25 points, 13 rebounds.
Some guys shoot layups. That's you guys taking Braden and TKR. Some guys like me, we hit home runs. Okay, and that's what we do.
No more Garcia Parra, baby.
There ain't a guy on this Illinois team that can check Fletcher Lawyer. I'm going to say that right now. You can take that as you want, however you want, but Fletcher Lawyer is going ham in this game. Big game Fletch is showing up. I expect it to be 18 to 23 point performance from him. He's here and he's back and he's ready to play. And I just watched them all live. None of them can guard him. They don't have a chance. He's one of the most elite offensive players that's ever played basketball. So that's my MVP. Rickus Morty thinks it's going to be Jack Benter. He also thinks I don't have a family. So take that for what it's worth. Both could be true. Both could be true.
I think he's right on both of them.
Rick, I need you to clip this because when Fletcher Lawyer doesn't have the best game, I will give you a jersey, a black script jersey. Clip it. Wow. You gotta clip it though. Post it to the social media.
Post it because when it happens, I expect nothing. I expect
then
nothing.
I'll bite my words and I'll buy you the appetizer deal at Applebee's. I'll do that.
Well, if that's unlimited apps,
like
I'm
both
in.
of those things.
I'm in on that. My prediction for this game is, I wanted to actually if they would have beat UCLA, I would have predicted a loss here. I'm gonna say like what Andy said here. Sometimes nothing focuses you better than an L. I'm gonna go. This is gonna be a high scoring game. I don't think there's any other two ways about it. I'm gonna go Purdue 91, Illinois 83, and I think Purdue's probably got a comfortable lead at some point in this game. I think they fall short in the first 10 minutes, probably down 4 or 5, make a big comeback, get it to 10, and then kind of just hold it there for most of the second half. So that's what I expect to happen. How do you know you're smaller than me, Rickus? I don't understand that, and I don't know if that's like a subtle jab at me because I have a fat head, which I do. So either way, I do appreciate everybody that's been in the chat. Hopefully Purdue does pull this out. It'll be a big game, big environment. This win kind of makes the sting of the UCLA loss a lot easier to take. And then we get to go play IU and ruin their celebration of their national title in football. So I'm really excited for this game. It's going to be a huge game, good environment, really fun. Any final thoughts, Dalton?
Nah.
He said,
get it done. Boiler up, dude.
Any final thoughts here?
I hope for a Purdue win, but I just the way that Purdue, like not to get like standing wise too, but this is like, Purdue kind of shot itself in the foot to win the Big Ten and whatnot. But like Purdue can obviously write its destiny, but Illinois is tied with Purdue at 7-1. A loss would be devastating because not only would it be a lose at Mackey, but then our next 4 or 5 is on the road too. So we would go 7-2 in conference, and we would have 4 of our next 5 on the road, with it being at IU, at Iowa, and at Nebraska.
To me, it's just this is the last time we lost a game. I think we won 8 or 9 in a row. We just needed to win this game, go smash IU, and then probably pick up one of the next 3, Nebraska, Iowa, and Michigan, or probably pick up 2 of the next 3. I'm sorry. And then you get, if you can end this season with 3 or 4 losses, I think you're fine as far as seeding in the tournament. I think you have a chance to win the league. But all in all, appreciate everybody who's here. Appreciate the chat, Rickus, Blake, everybody that was in the chat talking to us.
And Big Andy.
Even Andy Fighting Illini, Locked On Illini. Really do appreciate it. Thank you, Isaac, for coming on the show for an hour and 40
Thanks
minutes.
a lot, brother.
We told you an hour.
No, you're fine. Nothing else. All good. I was excited for it. So.
Anything you want to plug or anything you want to let them know what your socials are?
It's just my name. Nothing too fancy. I mean, I'm not. I'll just do a nice little jab. I don't need to have a nameless, faceless burner account on any social media. Not blaming you too, but there's certain accounts that I'll just quick little jab at. But no, it's just my name. Just Isaac Romig. Social media, whether it's Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. Don't use it, but either one of those work. So.
Yep, for sure. Yeah, don't miss another preview, Rickus, because the one you missed, we lost. And he says give some people some warning. I'm pretty sure we both sent out multiple tweets today. This has also been scheduled since yesterday. Rickus, this is on you, buddy. Let's not try to push the blame the other direction. Literally, it's on you. We have made plenty of announcements for this. And just because you're listening right now, I'll let you know we will also be on what podcast tomorrow?
Bench Points podcast with Sam that we had on last week.
Yeah,
so
we'll be on their podcast
tomorrow night. So
tomorrow night, sometime around 8 or 8:30, and then we will also be going live. We'll have a preview out for the IU game separately, but we will be going live Monday with Cobra Stats. He'll be popping on the podcast to kind of talk about everything he does. If you're not familiar with him, you should be. He's the best stats guy around Purdue. So really excited for that specifically too. That's going to be fun. And Rickus or anybody else, Andy, if you guys ever want to join the show, like Isaac did with us today, feel free. We just enjoy talking ball. We don't really discriminate or anything along those lines. And is what
I'll love a Pirates Cubs podcast in the future.
It'll come.
I'll love to just banter because both of our I know it's almost pushing 2 hours, but both of our GMs owners are dog shit. I'll put that in nice PG words.
I'll sit that one out. I'll let you baseball boys go at that one. It's not my thing.
Yeah. Dalton gets a little lost in the baseball talk, but he still can somehow, string it together. It's an impressive talent.
Dude, I've played baseball my entire life until
but if we're talking about
year.
I'll let you
hockey too, man. Ooh, we're Stanley Cup playoffs are right around the corner, baby. Woo-hoo.
Yeah.
I do like
Derek will be on that.
I like watching hockey. We also have golf stuff. And anything else, the Olympics is coming up. Maybe we'll do some stuff with the Olympics. So we have a lot of stuff coming up, but I do appreciate everybody in the chat. Please hit the like and subscribe button on your way out if you haven't already.
Share it out, baby.
Share it to your friends, your family, your cousins. Heck, if your dog's got a YouTube channel, please let him watch it. He deserves
Derek's
this kind
fake
of content.
family. Share it to them.
Yeah, I'll give it out to my fake family, my fake in-laws, and everything fake about my life. Appreciate everyone who's in here. And this is his Twitter, Isaac Romig1 on Twitter. And I wish it was opening day already. Rickus Morty is a baseball guy. Good to know. Let's say goodbye, and we'll see you guys next time. Like I said, we will be on the other podcast tomorrow, which is called Bench Points. Thank you, everyone. Have a good night, and hopefully Purdue gets a W. Peace out.
Weather up, baby. Later.
Weather up.